beside him,
Alright,
too.
let's do this.
I could just stand sideways on a post.
Alright, quiet down.
I'm sorry.
Alright, let's do this. Let me make sure everything's lined up and ready. Okay. Let's handle it. Okay. All right. Get this together.
Is everyone really quiet, or did I just lose
Everyone's quiet.
At request of Arcadia.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And also, guys, keep your mutes ridden. Alright. Tell Mumu we're ready. Alright, let's do this.
Hello.
Hail, traveler. And hail all other travelers. Got a lot got a lot to go over today, so I dropped some ambience for you guys. You guys pick up your own there. Alright.
Nice.
So, essentially, over the course of the encampment growing, a few things come to pass. Forces are called in all across Calcatesh. Warriors, mages, clerics, and ne'er-do-wells. People of all shapes, sizes, creeds, religions, origins, and ideals gather within Camp Last Stand. And in this brief lull for the coming of the storm, as the herald looms within the horizon, its violet light, even now, hewing the bright daylight, Azalon and his second await the arrival of the factions of Calcatesh. They enter the large, open-faced tent, complete with drinks, servants, and even light music. But no mind is on entertainment. The Vizier stands next to Aslan, who bears a serious gait, as each and every chapter master and their seconds take their places at the great round table. As everyone becomes settled in, the Vizier shall speak. Greetings, lords and ladies of Calcatesh. Camp Last Stand welcomes you. And although there is much to speak of, we give thanks for your arrival, and we apologize for the lack of time. But the herald approaches. And at that moment, the Vizier will summon forth the plans so far. Alright, listen up. Alrighty, let's see here. Alright, so, all of you, as a collective total, as the heroes of Calcatesh, this includes the heroism of the stream groups, as well as the heroism of the Living World players themselves. All of that is accumulated into this single spot. Scrolls, documents, first-hand accounts, scouting reports, all these things lie on a massive stack in front of all of you. Scribes work tirelessly to translate their meaning, and as such, I will explain. Each faction, based on its loyalty, as well as various accomplishments that it has achieved over the course of this phase of play, will bring to the table a certain amount of order. Where that faction is assigned in the upcoming questions I will ask you will determine how much order that particular problem will be dealt with. For example, If there is, say, an incursion to the north, and you were to send the Bard's College and the Freemen, just as an example, you would accumulate their total order worth, and that would be the order that would be supplied in order to face that threat, so on and so forth. You cannot split your order. Now, I'm going to post in announcements on the Discord what each of the particular factions are worth in terms of order, and then I will also post the order generated by the heroic actions of the past couple of months. Alrighty, let me go ahead and post that here. I will also, I don't know if it'll look good in Matt's chat, but I'll try.
Do it. Go now.
The number to the furthest to the right is how much order that faction is worth.
I don't see anything.
Yeah, I'm putting it in there now.
Oh, I thought I heard you hit enter, so I was like,
He hit enter in Discord.
oh.
But for the chat's sake, see if that looks good. That does not look good at all. Okay.
What channel are we posting this in?
I posted it in announcements. Here, I can just snip it for you and make it an image for you.
No, I'm in announcements now.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. The number furthest to the right represents the order that particular faction can bring forward. The following is the heroic actions calculated thus far. And then finally, your total amount of order that you have to spend is 180. Okay, so let's go over that. First things first, to introduce yourselves, we're going to do a quick introduction round. Whenever I come to each faction, that person's head, if they are available, and if not, their second will, introduce themselves, so that Azalon and the Vizier can know them. Let's not spend too much time on that, because there's like 13 factions, so here we go. Actually, there's more than that, but anyway. Alright.
There is, in fact, more.
Okay, so, first up is the Bard's College. Be sure to use your speech bubbles.
Hello, I am Cardinal Alio Kilty, Maestro of the Bard's College, and my familiar Biggs.
Well met.
The Collector.
Braxton Planer, Chapter Master of the Collector.
Well met.
No more information.
Alright.
Nods.
Nods, okay. Next is the Freeman.
Osmond Bardhoof, Captain of the Freemen.
Well met.
Look at that Minotaur. Alright, next is the Grasping Hand. Alright, so Tiffany's unable to connect, but a red-haired woman with leather armor will approach and say... Are you there, Tiffany?
She'll say, "What up, bro?"
Alright, I don't know where she is.
Looks like she just connected.
Yeah.
Like she's in the chat.
She's not in voice, though.
No, she's in voice.
No, she's in.
I can
Hold
see her.
hold on.
Oh,
Hey.
there she is.
Hold on, move her out of the channel and back in.
Okay.
When the DM can just walk into the other room.
What? I'm kind of tempted to just yell.
Hold on,
at her
hold
to
on,
go
hold on.
with your voice.
Tiffany, say something.
Oh my
Okay.
god, I'm gonna go
Her
fix
shit-
it.
Her shit was perpetually lit up, so I thought there was some kind
Yeah,
of.
I'll be
error
right
happening
back.
to me.
She probably
Just
has
gonna
the wrong microphone
pull her into his
selected.
room.
Hello?
Oh, she's
Hi.
talking
Can
now.
you hear me? Okay, for some reason I'm sorry.
Or
I'm
that.
sorry.
Were you muted?
Everything broke for me. No, I was not muted. I apologize.
It's all good.
Alright, go ahead.
I am Freya Firemane, the Hand. Grasping Hand.
Well met.
Next is the Great Coven.
Jonah Three Rivers, Chapter Master Great Coven.
Well met, Mr. Jonah.
Yes. For the first time met.
Squint.
Alrighty then. Next is the Hikari.
Ularis Amagrel of the Hikari, Hell Lord.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Chapter Master of the Hikari. The dealings that I have in Claeus are not so far from yours, my friend.
Well, man.
Next is the Ayatonus Imperium.
Hiya, Nyx, listener of the Toss Imperium.
Well met.
The Inquisition.
Greetings, my friend. My name is Cedric Ironfist, and I am the Lias, the ambassador of the Inquisition.
Well met, Mr. Cedric.
Pleasure's mine.
The Mages Guild.
Azalon grimaces.
Nemiris, current Archmage.
Well met.
Wow, another Archmage. The Knight.
Respectful nod.
Respect. Ugh! I too am a nerd. All right, next is Night Guard.
Tanis Arkel, Knight Captain of the Night Guard.
Well met.
Oh, dude, your new art is sick.
Yeah.
Mmm.
All right.
Kind of handsome.
The Shackled Legion.
Amaris, Chapter Master of the Shackled Legion.
Well met again. You've made yourself well at home here already.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. The Steel Saints.
Hello, I'm Deck, Chapter Master of the Steel Saints.
Where's Deck at? So I can show your art.
I haven't loaded yet.
Yeah.
Oh.
He hasn't.
Describe him to me now.
Her.
Actually.
Her.
She's a Aarakocra druid.
Mm. Cool.
It's standing next to me.
All right.
Next to Amaris.
If I was loaded.
No.
When
she's around this area.
Yeah, when you can get loaded, just drop your token. It's fine. We gotta move forward.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Stetton Striders.
Avayorn, I am Cian Falagra, Hunter Captain. Wait, wasn't there? Hunter Captain of the Stetton Striders.
The Watchwall.
Well, man.
I am Tarumite Prest, First Sergeant, Ambassador of the Watchwall.
Don't forget your pointies.
Well met.
That's it. All right. Next is the World Wanderers.
Madeline Blair Three Rivers, Ranger Captain of the World Wanderers and Queen of Kaidalok.
No relation to Mr. Jonah?
Yes, we are married.
Well met, the both of you.
The Crowsworn.
Amelia Lutfield, the Crowsworn.
Well met. Well met, Miss Amelia.
The Evereye.
I am the Cantor of Chaos, Speaker of Volok and High's Will.
I apologize for what happened to your prophet, but it would seem that it's no longer an issue.
Yes, well, bygones be bygones. We have better issues to attend to, do we not?
Aslan will nod in agreement.
Forked Tongue.
Absent.
The assassins did not show up, it would seem. The Last Grove. Can't hear you, bud.
Silkser, you're not talking.
You're muted, Silkser.
Hello.
And you're remuted. There you go.
Hello, I am Lancelot B, Archdruid of the Last Grove, and it's a pleasure to meet you.
Well met, ma'am.
I'm sir.
Aslan will blush and say, he will say, I apologize, but I can relate to being mistaken for a woman.
And then finally, the Lenorm Lords.
I am I am Rukurku, a champion of the Worm Lords.
Alright. And then finally, the Vizier will turn and gesture towards Aslan to introduce himself to any that does not know his name already.
Well, first to Mr. Ruck, he will say, "Well met." He will. Are we sitting?
Yeah,
right now?
You're sitting around a round table.
Well, first things first. I would like it to be clear that we're gonna go one step further after he got his hand blown off. We're gonna say that it kind of like escalated to his whole arm. I know it's not like a corruption that's consuming his body, but I thought he would look cooler with one arm.
It's whatever you want, my dude.
Aslan will execute a seated half flourish bow or half bow flourish with his left arm, and will inform everyone gathered. Greetings, my name is Aslan Caltalonis, and I am the Archmage of Glaeus, founder of Alexandria, and assemblyar of this particular camp. It has seen better days, it is bustling now, and I am glad to have you.
The Vizier will then nod and then move on to business. My Lord Aslan, it would seem that the countries of Calcatesh have offered what aid that they can. They have offered us station and board and support wherever we choose to place our particular stands. Now, to all the factions here, we must choose now. Where shall we place our strength? And with that, we enter the part to discuss.
All right.
Okay, so there are 4 aspects that you will need to fill out. And they are munitions, fortifications, logistics, and morale. Munitions being weapons, attack capacity, things of that nature. Fortifications are defense. Logistics is the ability to communicate and move troops and things like that. And then morale is to heal and recover and to not have your troops break. The first thing that you need to do is decide which factions will place their strength into which of those categories, which will then set the base starting statistics of the heroes of Calcatesh. To be clear, you could stack them all on one if you wanted to, although that would not be wise. Each of them are important in their own right. I would also like to point out that keep in mind what your faction is actually capable of doing. Although I will not spell it out for you, some of the factions are going to be better at assisting in certain aspects of munitions, fortifications, logistics, and morale. However, you may not be able to fill in the other slots, and some of you might have to take an ineffective choice. It is up to you to decide how to split up your forces.
To be clear, we are putting them, for our faction, it is going into one of these. We don't get to split it.
You cannot split your forces, that is correct.
Gotcha.
And what are the difference between the 2 numbers again? One last time.
What 2 numbers?
63, arrow 3, kind of thing.
The first number is the total loyalty that the faction has. The second number is the amount of order that each faction brings to the table.
The only one that matters is the one of the most right.
Yeah. There was just a calculation that was done. Don't worry about it.
Sure.
Are we going in the previous order, or whoever wishes to speak first?
Anyone can who would like to take the floor.
Well, Bard's College will take the floor. I believe that the college would be suited working on morale. Hello.
Aslan's looking at you.
Yes, I might have held off push talk. I believe that the college is best situated in morale, where we will play the drums, heal the wounded, and maybe write what happens.
Do you believe this is where your forces would be best suited? I mean, I understand the purpose of a bard and the talents of a bard, but what of information gathering and transporting, so to speak? Are you not skilled at that as well?
We have some skills, though our faction is largely situated in a fairly remote mountainside. So,
is this before or after your college was destroyed?
It was mostly destroyed. The ruins are still there, and we've been fixing it, so that is where it remains.
I am pleased to hear it. I am in agreement with your decision. However, this is all of your decisions, so whatever you believe to be the best for your men and women and what have you, I will support you.
Thank you.
So Bard's College will be going to Morale, yes?
Yep.
So be it. All right, next we have is the Collector. It is their turn to speak.
Well, don't know how much we can work towards morale. The only things that I'd be considering would be for logistics. No, would be for logistics or munitions if it's truly needed. I'll hold off my vote until I hear others decide.
So be it.
So, to be clear, you are proclaiming your forces for the matter of logistics, but you are also holding your forces in case there's a blank spot that needs to be filled?
For munitions specifically, I don't believe we would be the best in, raw force, just so much as, having the extra arrows to go around.
Understood. I will make a note of it, or rather, the Vizier will make a note of it, and we will continue. Thank you, sir.
The Vizier will scribe down such instructions. Freeman.
Hi. For the Freeman, we feel that the best choice for us would be logistics, though we could go to defense as well, being the faction that deals with the sea and all its ports.
Very good. I will. The Vizier will mark you down for either one of those, and we shall. I will attempt to. It behooves me to mention, perhaps, decisiveness, commitment. The only thing that we should. What's the word in common? Dally upon is the most important thing here among everything else from what I have witnessed personally, and I'm sure some of you as well, beyond arrows, beyond walls of stone, beyond everything else, the most important thing that we should consider is our morale. So if you are undecided on what it is your chapter can do, consider morale as the other option, not one or the other in terms of anything else. Because we can do without an extra wall, so long as we have men to stand in the empty space that was once a wall, I suppose. Aslan will smile.
That's good stuff. All right, Freeman, what it'll be?
Put us down for logistics.
You got it.
Aslan nods in approval.
The Grasping Hand.
The Grasping Hand will devote their abilities to logistics.
Very well.
Control space for speech bubble people for the stream.
Please don't forget. All right, next is Great Coven.
I believe we could do pretty much any of these except for logistics, perhaps. We're a charming bunch, but I personally think our talents would be best used for the creation of magical wards, so that would go to fortifications.
Very good.
Annotating. All right. The Vizier will write it down. The Hikari.
Hell, we cannot dance a jig as well as the bards, but perhaps we will buy this land in blood. Munitions for the Hikari.
He's so cool.
Ooh.
The Ayatonis Imperium.
I would say that we have found ourselves, in a spot. While we don't have quite the members we used to, I do find that our banks tend to be filled with what they have donated in their city, on top of my own gatherings throughout the years, to the point where many are gathering dust. I find much of our excess would be useful in the munitions.
Very well, thank you.
The Inquisition.
Arcadum, I have a question out of character. Can
Who
you tell me
speaks?
how many Cedric Irons's nation?
All right, are you the Inquisition?
this guy.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that is correct. My bad, apologies. So, I have a question out of character, if I may.
Yeah.
What's the amount of people we have in munitions, logistics, fortifications, and morale?
We have 3 people for logistics. We have 3 people for munitions. 2 or 3 for both of those. We have 1 fortification, 1 morale.
The order values of those are so far: munitions is at 10, fortification is at 7, logistics is at 14, and morale is at 10.
All right. So in character, well, not precise on what we can do multiple things as the Inquisition, as a faction that is mostly composed of paladins, mostly a marshal, one that isn't afraid of running away. But alas, we also have many agents across many countries that can also serve for logistics. By the theme, as you look around, the logistical department is covered. I would like to offer my man and myself for the fortifications, if I may.
I've seen a great many grand building within Ord, and I believe that your decision is wise, sir. There are many grand keeps.
All right. Next we have is the Mages Guild.
I've been debating this as I've listened to everyone, and I believe as of currently, the Mages Guild's greatest strength would be put into logistics, as the existence of both the teleportation nexus as well as our ability to instantly send messages through magical means or another would most likely serve as the most profitable help. But as my colleague Cedric just said, it seems logistics is rather filled, but for now, I'm going to put us down as logistics, as I believe that is where our strengths are mostly filled. But if needed, I'm sure I can figure out a way to put us to other places.
The wonders of the weave are grand indeed, and I am certain that you understand that more than any of us here. I shall mark you down as more nebulous in the commitment of your forces, should we need to move anything around, as you have suggested, ma'am. Thank you.
The Vizier will annotate this. The Night Guard.
We of the Night Guard have fought many Eldritch Horrors, and while the unknown is something that we dealt with for generations, our blades are strong, but our minds are stronger. We go to morale.
Nice.
This is so cool. Shackled Legion.
Alright then. Knowing that the moronic dwarves of Krasix love building their little toys, we'll just devote it to fortifications.
The The Vizier, however, will not sigh.
God damn it, stealthed.
Alright. Steel Saints.
The Steel Saints are a very simple faction. We are mercenaries. We fight for money. And in here, we fight for all munitions.
Alright. Stetton Striders.
I believe that the Stetton Striders are best suited at two things. Are best suited at two things. Going in, fighting some unfathomably powerful creature, and telling some grand story about it. We are good at munitions and morale, so whatever one you believe is best fit for the current situation. I am not good at math.
Hilarious.
I mean,
pretty much whatever
wrong.
one's lower.
That's probably morale.
Well, if you're following Aslan direction, morale.
Then morale indeed.
I think technically morale has more points right now, so we can go through after everyone's designated their points and figure out which one.
Then the Vizier will annotate them in a waiting pattern. The Watch Wall.
I believe our strengths would be fortification, of course, due to our specialty.
Agreeable nod.
Agreeable nod. Slamming penis. World Wanderers.
As World Wanderers, we are dedicated to the defense of civilization and nature. Unfortunately, our Ranger Stones will likely not provide much fortifications against this enemy, so we are better suited with our arrows, munitions.
The Crow Swarm.
I believe it would be better suited for logistics.
And why is that?
Because we have demon forces and portals too. But we can also go to munitions if it's anything.
Understood.
Evereye.
Lockenhei's gaze pierces through many veils, and he shall guide our hands, as well as yours, my friends. Logistics.
All right.
Oh man.
Aslan looks creeped the fuck out by your character.
He should be. That's the point.
You should be. Look, he is a very good chapter master for the Evereye. It's fucking fantastic.
Aw, thanks, bye.
Alright. The Forked Tongue are not here, so therefore the Vizier will place them in a position that he believes to be the best. Assassins are good at killing. I'll put them into munitions.
I'd hope they're good at killing. That's their job.
Okay.
Indeed.
The Last Grove.
Well, as the Archdruid of Calcatech, many of our druids are specialized in recovery and healing, but you could also serve as a defense as well in fortifications. But I feel that morale may be a better option, but I'll go with what you believe will be the best.
Good Archdruid, we shall designate your kind and forces to whatever is needed the most, as such is the case of those two.
I see. Then I will go with morale.
Very good.
Adjusting. Lenorm Lords.
We will assist with munitions. My men would rather be involved in this fight.
Alright, now we circle back. Collector and Stetton Strider.
Actually, you missed the Silent Knights. In both the introductions and in this.
They're not silent. Oh yeah, and the tops.
Yeah. Missed
Well,
them too.
I did not include them because they did not generate sufficient loyalty.
Ah, unfortunate.
They're also technically accounted for.
So that too. They're already involved because their literal faction is already involved. So anyway, Collector.
I believe most have put their efforts towards logistics already, being the most sought after. So looks like we're down for some more munitions. Let's keep those arrows flying.
Before we continue, Vizier, could you perhaps read off the totals for each one before those who are undecided?
Of course, my Lord Aslan. One moment while I compile them.
Oh, if that's the case, I can compile them.
I'll do it faster.
I'm almost there.
My math. My math. We have 45 ammunitions.
Is that counting the collector's?
That's not counting the collector's choice yet. No.
Okay. Okay.
So there's 45 ammunitions. Fortifications has... To be clear, the Silent Knights and Tops will still have something to do, just not during this part. Just to be clear. 26 in fortifications. Logistics is 19... 28. And morale is 24.
So morale's the lowest?
Yes.
Yep.
Well, you know,
If you
they
believe
say
you are
nothing,
better,
nothing really inspires someone like extra coin, you know? Let's put some extra money in some men's pockets for the good old war funds.
You got it.
Buy some health potions.
Okay,
yes,
next is...
the most effective morale, making it rain.
Alright, Stetton Striders, where are you going?
Based on those numbers, I believe morale is the correct choice for us. We will make sure your stories are glorious.
So be it.
I love you, Taka.
Alright. Final calculations are... Munitions, 45. Fortifications, 26. Logistics, 28. Morale, 36.
Did we ever designate what the Crowsworn was going to?
Crowsworn I have marked down as logistics.
What was Mage's Guild?
Yeah, it was logistics.
Mage's Guild is in logistics as well.
Okay, cool.
Sorry if I wasn't clear on that.
Just to interject, perhaps some munitions could go to fortifications if you want an even defense and attack.
The World Wanderers seem pretty decent at getting things around. Would they not make good logistics?
I suppose it is implied in the name.
Well, Whatever you have me, I shall proceed with.
Well, before we make that decision, you know them best, and I wonder perhaps what your insight would be on the matter.
Well, we are no strangers to travel, so she does have a point. Should we need more logistics on the matter, I would see our munitions placed into logistics.
Very good. A war effort such as this requires all of these pieces for certain, and I have heard and read many tales of battles and armies that have fallen apart as a result of miscommunication or no communication at all. It's a scary thought.
I believe with the combination of our resources with the World Wanderers and the Mages Guild, we will be able to cover all bases.
Aslan nods in approval.
All right, the new rundown is munitions 37, fortifications 26, logistics 36, morale 36.
That's pretty well rounded.
I kind of like the split, actually.
That's very well rounded.
That's fine. We'll pick up the slack for the rest of you.
The Vizier,
Okay, buddy.
The Vizier will notice that Lord Aslan seems to be amenable to the numbers, and will therefore write them in, bold them, underline them, and then send them to scribes and scouts to spread the word to the appropriate troops. Your choices are now locked in, and that will be your starting statistics for the battle to come. But hark, there is yet more. Your logistics is 36. Therefore, you get to choose a couple of things. Number one, the Herald and its forces loom just on the horizon, and the various mages and more traditional scouts have been able to determine some of its facets. Choose munitions, fortifications, logistics, or morale. You may learn what the Herald's strength in those areas are.
Morale. Unless anyone has a better line of thought here.
That's a good idea.
I mean, it's all about hopelessness
Depends
for them.
what kind of strat you want to go for. Do you want to try to go and quick kill? Then it'd be at another defense. If
So
you want to go for the long fight, it's better to know their morale.
To be clear, we're learning. Restate what we're learning again if we choose one of these.
Okay, so you have your statistics now, and remember, these statistics have not been augmented by the heroic actions yet, so you still have points to put into them. Which that's where the major decision making is going to be coming in, is where to put those points. Because your logistics is at 36, you're able to learn about the enemy, and what you're able to learn is one of its stats for munitions, fortifications, logistics, or morale.
Will this be quantified beyond just a numerical value?
It will be, yeah, I'll clarify what it means exactly, comparatively.
Okay. Well, what do you guys think?
And the most important, I'll just kind of, reveal the hand here. Whichever one that you choose will also give you access to special missions that you can attempt to spend order on to weaken it, because you'll know about it.
I have a question. Do we have any knowledge on the interplay of the statistics? Like, if munitions is used against a particular one of the enemy's statistics?
Oh, yes. So munitions is the attack statistic, fortifications is the defense, morale is the hit points, and logistics is the special actions.
Perhaps we want to learn about, like, its fortifications, so we know if we want to create a very strong sword and, like, make our munitions very high, so we have an easy time of attacking the enemy and leverage our advantage. Or we could...
I second that.
And then we can know how much we need to put into our own defenses to, like, make sure that we can still attack it and stay alive, kind of thing.
On the flip side of that, learning the enemy's munitions can aid us in knowing just how high our fortifications need to be. So we aren't, steamrolled.
And one could argue, having fought a fair, mighty creature with quite a few of you in this room, knowing the intricate things that they can do has saved us time and again. Arguing that logistics wouldn't be bad either.
I am in agreement with Miss or Sir Nix.
Female.
Ma'am, I'm in agreement with Lady Nix. I believe that in my own travels and travels that I have felt, that the unknown is typically our greatest enemy.
I have two thoughts on the matter. The fight's not going to end until it's entirely wiped out, so it would be good to know its morale. But the thing that will ultimately destroy us, I think, is when it starts pulling tricks out of its bag. So I also agree. I think it would be good to know the surprises before they become surprises.
I feel like at the end of the day, it having super high morale and things like that is, well, obvious. It's literally its whole thing. So if it has tricks we need to learn, it's better to learn them beforehand.
An ambush cannot be an ambush if we've scouted their position.
I believe that knowing its weaknesses beforehand helps us prepare. So I am in agreement with Audio over here.
What is the decision, Azalon?
I get to decide?
You're the leader of this.
Well, with the wisdom provided and these guys don't know about refractions, right? I mean, some of them, I think...
Some of them amongst them, you know, that are 7, but you recognize their tent. However, because you mentioned that, there is one that stands out amongst all of them. You recognize that Jonah is of 7, but it is Freya that stands the most out. For not only is she 7, but there is something else within the demeanor, one that you had seen before, to the trials of the stranger.
What about it?
Specifically, Mo's sight when used in the encampment. And indeed, he serves a handmaiden of one who very, very much so has a similar visage. You believe that her soul is the most refracted.
Well, be it because of arrogance on Azalon's part, or be it because of the knowledge he knows that he has experienced through his refractions, and because of the battles he has witnessed, felt, or seen, or heard of, he will announce, I believe if we can learn of the enemy's hidden maneuvers, that would serve us best. Logistics.
The Vizier will note your selection. All right. The Herald has a 62 in logistics.
Whoa.
Much of its strength comes from its ability to study its own enemies and to subtly and slowly, carefully, and unseen hands and eyes corrupt like a malignant tumor the world. But, as overbearing as its strength might seem, you are not without your own eyes. And now we can move on to special actions. Okay, so what we're about to go into at this point is you can decide what special actions you would like to take in order to lower the enemy's logistics.
Oh.
These will be translated into RP events, which, through the course leading all the way up into the battle against the Herald, will actually determine what advantages the heroes of Calcatesh, and therefore those 7 eyes that would face it, will actually gain an advantage of. So, the decisions that you make here will determine what RP events will be hosted in the living world, and should they be successful, will actually serve as a direct advantage, or failure thereof, against the Herald in the final fight. Since you have chosen logistics, the first option that you have is blinding the Herald's eyes. The Herald has many eyes hidden throughout Calcatesh. It will take a very dedicated and relentless force to find them and to put them out. So, you may discuss amongst yourselves which faction you would like to send in order to do this. Keep in mind that the Tops and the Silent Knights are now available for selection. You may send up to 2 factions to deal with a certain issue, and this issue is blinding the Herald's sight. I should also mention that depending on which faction that you choose for any of these missions, I will accommodate their circumstantial bonuses that they might have. For example, this is an example. If you were looking for a certain type of personage and you wanted them taken care of, sending the Forked Tongue, who therefore have no morality at all to keep them alive, and they don't care about justice, and they are specialized in hunting down people, that would be a very useful faction to send. Those types of things matter. The alignment, the tenets of the faction, all those things matter.
Okay.
The choice is less mechanical and more thematic and story-based, so keep that in mind.
Okay.
Now, your logistics reveals that the Herald has many eyes. The first mission that you can possibly take is to find those eyes amongst the peasantry.
Well,
I'd honestly say either the Great Coven or the Evereye.
Heavy-handed, the Imperium is also known for handling peasants.
Many desperate lie within the poor and paltry that sit in the streets begging. Many of Alarkanai's followers at that. Should be in the network.
Yeah, send them to do that.
I will say, it sounds honestly quite mad to believe that we can find all of them among everyone in Calcatesh, but who else better to handle it than the Mad?
He'll wink.
I don't think most of my folks are going to be particularly happy about shaking down peasants or working with the Evereye.
I would be surprised if they were, Jonah.
It's already taken bargaining position. That's
Would this not be a task for the grasping hand?
Well, the implications appear to be killing them.
If you wish for us to have a heavier hand with these marks, we just need to alter the way our contracts are written.
These are... Go on.
I was just going to say, one could also say that when it comes to finding the secret heretics within the community, the Inquisition also has a history of such.
Yes, but if we are sending the Evereye, I do not believe it would be a good idea to send the Inquisition alongside them. That would probably be about as bad as sending the Coven.
It's like water and oil, my friend.
Well, look in places where the other won't, I suppose.
Aren't we all supposed to be on the same side, working together with enemies?
But I will
think we can
interject.
stomach.
Who's to say you've not worked with us before, Inquisition? You would never know.
I fucking god, of course.
Winky face. I would like to interject. Currently, we are facing what could be the end of the world. I believe it is time to set for a moment, our strives, our problems aside for now, and focus the main problem ahead. Even though it does make me uncomfortable working with someone with the Evereye, if I am selected, I would not mind in aiding against this matter.
What is important to remember is that we no longer have the time to determine if these vessels that the enemy is using are willing servants who have toss their hats into the ring, so to speak, for the enemy, or if they are unwilling ones. As such, and as much as it pains me to say, I don't think we should have any reservations at all about ending them. They are a liability that in part seeks to undo creation, not just this world.
Well, since we're sending pairs, we could send, say, the assassins to finish the job, and then somebody specific to find the individuals.
I like that idea. And as much as I do not like the God of Madness, my own personal experiences in Glaeus have shown me that, and as I am sure all of you are aware, they have a hand for every pot and pocket. So I agree with the Evereyes finding and the assassins killing.
If we have more high-profile targets, it might be better to save the assassins for them, since they would, you know, if we're talking strictly here, be missed.
Then send the hand.
I would think you'd be remiss to not send us. We are specialized in finding people. That is what we do. That is our specialty.
Plus, your organization is probably larger.
Those hiding in the peasants will be the hardest to find. The others might be the most ensconced, but hiding in the masses is pretty effective.
I'd recommend the grasping hand then.
Would we still be sending the Evereye?
The Vizier will look towards Azalon and await his decision.
Well, seeing that, well, I mean, recognizing in part somewhat who Freya is and that last assertion and indeed what they are good at, Azalon will posit, it is as they say. The grasping hand should do the finding. For certainly, it is as Jonah said, that our marks, for lack of a better word, would be most difficult to find. The hand could do the finding and perhaps even the killing. Who do you think could keep up with you, Miss Freya?
If we just need a hand in the taking out the marks, anyone will do. I've worked well with the World Wanderers before, and I've also worked well with the Steel Saints. I would make an exception with the Inquisition this once, for it is dire. But anyone would probably do.
Do we have any volunteers?
As the World Wanderers, our outposts are across the continent. We can apprehend as many people as we can and quickly with the logistics in hand. I will volunteer to aid Grasping Hand.
The World Wanderers and the Grasping Hands then shall root out the plague, so to speak, within the peasantry.
The Vizier will nod and will notate it and send out word to those in which it matters. All right, that mission is now locked in. All right, staff members, those of you that are here to take notes, prepare an RP event in which the Grasping Hand and the World Wanderers and those they choose to have aid them, RP event to actually search out infected and corrupted peasantry and bring them to the sword.
This would be across the entirety of Calcatesh, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Godspeed.
Alright, and with that, the Vizier will propose the next course of action. As you have studied the logistics of the Herald's movements, you are trying to limit its sight, but there is one particular aspect that must be dealt with. The Herald has many, many servants, and the Violet has corrupted much. Most notably, however, are the diviners from the olden years. Beings, mages capable of seeing in the sight beyond sight and piercing the veil, any veil. Their continued existence will be a hindrance. They will need to be dealt with. So, how shall you deal with these powerful mages?
Well, if sight need be met with sight, none other better than my lords.
What of the mages versus the mages? Magic versus magic.
I suppose, the saying fight fire with fire is something to be said here, so I suppose it could be arranged. We are quite used to dealing with such things, after all.
Well, perhaps the madness worshipper and his god could assist you in undoing these diviners.
We can simply show you the way and allow you to cast whatever spells you deem necessary to take care of them.
Well, if you could mask their way as well, that would be preferable. The biggest hurdle I see here is you being seen before you show up. So, if that's something you could provide.
Perhaps we may be able to work something such out of similar mechanisms elsewhere.
Then again, the assassins might kill them before they can cast their spells.
If these are diviners... If these are diviners, no amount of stealth could really hide them. It would take a practiced magical hand in order to fool them.
You all act as if we need to put them down like dogs. They're on our side, aren't they?
The diviners? No.
No.
No. They're people that are piercing the veil to serve the enemy.
Does anyone know where they are, even?
I think we can assume with the logistics that Arcadum provided that we'll be able to accomplish what we need to.
That's what the RP event is for, is to find them and deal with them.
The Mages Guild has the forces needed in order to do this. So it would be certainly possible.
And if time is anything to tell, a bit of chaos makes it quite unpredictable, even for a diviner.
Mages Guild has no qualms with the God of Madness.
Well then, is it agreed upon? Shall the Evereye work with the maidens?
If that is what the group wishes.
In my own personal experience, I find that you two would work better together than not. And I really can't imagine a better partner for the Mages Guild at present in this task.
As I said, in times such as dire as these, I will do what is needed.
Don't worry, I won't let too much of the residual crazy rub off on you, no more than I wish.
The Vizier will nod and will lock it in, sending word. Okay.
Hope above all, after all.
The next task at hand, you have the peasantry being filtered out, you have the diviners being dealt with. However, there is a serious problem. The The Herald has called upon the Order of the Shattered Star, and over time, even with their few setbacks, their defeat at the hand of the Herald's Call, and their second defeat at the hand of the Tearing Veil, they have therefore turned to more reckless actions. The Rotten Wound, once again thrums with demonic energy as the Order of the Shattered Star seeks to open a portal to the abyss and corrupting already dark forces, seeping them into the world. This portal must be dealt with. Who shall seal the demonic gate?
This is my right.
Aslan nods in agreement almost instantly.
I think the room did.
Yeah.
The room just simultaneously nodded in agreement. Yeah, yep, Hakari, deal with this.
But, alas, as the Phoenix has proclaimed, we cannot do everything alone. Who shall go with me?
Who do you think could extend your, I don't know, vast killing potential should they decide to swarm through this portal?
Well, I may not be proficient in front lining, but I have been to this place before, so I do know what is there. I suppose that I can aid in some way at that place if needed.
You've been to the Abyss?
No, he's been to the Rotting Wound.
I've been to those mountains before. To face off a rather similar invasion. I believe that the very enemy caused that invasion the first time. And now it seems like it's trying to cause it again.
Man, you were there. That's so, I'm sorry. This was really cool for me, and he was actually there the last time. I'm sorry, please continue.
I'm getting flashbacks. That's some nostalgia. I don't want that.
Fuck that one part of the mountain in particular.
Anyway.
Now that seems rather settled then.
You two. Then.
The Vizier will look towards Aslan and nod. The last grove shall face the demons with the Hakari. Sick. Oh, real quick to any staff members listening, I need a RP event to kill a bunch of diviners for the Ever-Eye and the Mages Guild, and anybody else that wishes to participate. And for the Demonic Gate, the Hakari and the Last Grove shall venture forth to the Rotten Wound and face the Demonic Gate, holding back the incursion of evil.
Why are they called the Last Grove?
Because when they were first founded by actually Lanzu planting a seed of a tree.
I'll explain. They're called the Last Grove because up until the point to where Lanzu planted the seed of a new grove, there were no more druidic groves left. So that's a literal thing. It's the Last Grove.
On Calcatesh? How long ago was this?
This was
phase 1 was when he planted it.
Phase 1, so that would be
phase 1
8
was
years?
7 years ago.
7
Nope.
years? 7 years?
7 about.
7-8 years.
Something like that.
Yeah, around about that.
And when a new grove emerges, it will just be the grove.
Anyway.
The next grove.
That other grove.
Anyway.
Well, we don't talk about that one.
The next task at hand is a... Okay. The Order of the Shattered Star must be destroyed, for they are an infection that is difficult to determine, for many of them do not have direct corruption. Many of them are just following the instructions of those that are corrupted, but very slightly. Thankfully, due to the successes of the Herald's Call and the Tearing Veil, they no longer have their stronghold and their foothold within Ord. They have retreated to an abandoned monastery and the Barrow Down, to the northern section of Ord. The Order of the Shattered Star cannot be allowed to survive. A force must go there and slaughter all of them. None can escape, or else the infection will continue. The Barrow Down is an ancient ruined fortress that once served as one of Ord's city-states before it was abandoned long ago. So which group do you think is the best at absolute destruction of people within a ruins? Thank you, Eddie.
Send Eddie.
Eddie agrees.
Eddie's ready to go.
And they shall call unto them only you.
Well, that sounds like an Ord problem.
Sounds like an Ord problem.
Also
I
sounds
believe
like
that I should undertake this task. As an Inquisitor, this falls under my authority.
It also
And-
sounds like the forked tongue to ensure the true death of our foe.
Tis more of a high priority target than civilians.
Do we happen to know if the logistics say that are there innocents, or is it just people that belong to the Order of the Shattered Star?
Well, that depends on what your definition of innocent is. All they know, logistically speaking, is that those inside are affiliated with the Shattered Star. Make no mistake, there is no guarantee that an innocent will not die in this action.
All must... Oh, I'm over there. All must die without mercy. For any to escape is to continue their corruption. If you do not believe yourself capable of killing those who might be innocent, then I would suggest you back down.
I did swear an oath of vengeance against the enemy, as the enemy tried killing me not long ago. I cannot let the enemy walk unpunished in our lands.
Where is this fortress located?
Northern Ord.
Oh. Home turf.
Could perhaps also send the Night Guard in that case. They are quite the force.
I apologize, being slightly newer to some of this. What is it again that the Silent Knights are proficient at? Iridons, if you're there.
Oh, sorry. One more time?
I was asking what the Silent Knights are kind of known for. You know, Inquisition doing their thing, Hakar doing their thing.
Oh, well, we are mostly focused on the protection of the Great Dream and ridding it of any threats that the enemy might throw at it. Of course, we do have interest in Ord, as that is where our base is, but I do believe the Inquisition and the Night Guards or the Forked Tongue would be better suited for this.
I support the Forked Tongue being there.
Lack of morals to support maybe those that waver at the hand of blade.
As I am a ranger first, but an assassin second. The act of assassination also requires the act of counter-assassination. I also recommend the Forked Tongue.
The Vizier will look up and will annotate Inquisition and Forked Tongue. Yes?
They're not here, but I can safely say yes. She's married to the chapter master.
Smile.
Smile.
Okay. Alright. And next up is... So those are the special missions that have been determined. So now we get to decide where to spend your extra order in. So the remaining order that you have from the heroic actions is 35, and you may spread those amongst your statistics.
Alright. I'm gonna just say out of character. First instinct is to even out our defense and then pump it all into either HP or knowledge. That's my 2 cents.
I don't think we can ever win on knowledge. We should probably go in other directions.
Well,
actually, if we put all of them into knowledge, we beat them.
That brings up the question: is do you need to beat him though? Having information is one thing. You don't need to have more information than the enemy to use it.
Keep in mind that we did unlock all of this stuff we just determined because of what our logistic is. And if all of those succeed, that's a lot of detriments that they're gonna get. So having more logistics isn't gonna be a bad thing.
Well, if the theme that we've been seeing the whole time is still the case, knowing more is typically a bad thing, and knowing too much is a bad thing, I guess. Not knowing more.
Yes, knowing the wrong knowledge.
Would I interject as well? The enemy will try to demoral us, so it makes sense to make that also the most powerful. To stand against despair.
That's the other theme, is instilling hopelessness. So I like the idea of evening out the defense and then pumping morale.
I agree.
They'll always hit harder than we can usually withstand, so being able to outlast in our hope, I guess. I agree.
Our hope is what will carry us to victory.
No quit in this field.
I agree.
Hey, Arcanum, I have a question.
Stealth, hold on 2 seconds. If you were talking stealth, you weren't actually speaking. You were just showing.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Maris was just saying that she agrees. That's it.
Nice.
Here, I thought it was important.
No.
My out of character question is Clack here? Or is she not present?
Yeah. Sorry, I was muted. She's not here.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. Damn. So we're evening out fortifications, and you're adding the rest of it to morale. Yes.
That seems to be correct.
Yes.
Okay. Fortifications at 30, and then the rest of it, which is 31, will go into morale, putting it at 67.
Mmm.
Spicy.
Good news, guys. We'll get a long time of the Herald using us as a punching bag.
All right. You have determined.
I know the feeling.
You have determined all extra outputs. All right. We've got all the statistics lined up. I have the extra RP events out on the table. Okay. Well, only one more thing remains. And that is... there are many factions within the living world, and all of you have offered up your strength as much as you can. However, whom will guard Last Stand? 2 factions.
Defense is something we are known for, so should it be wished, the Watchwall is willing to fortify the location.
As well as the Freemen are great at fortifying the sea, so surrounding it would be simple for us.
Hey, one important thing, if you see that, that big giant sea monster that you guys fought like 2 years ago, don't be alarmed.
The white... Oh.
What did you do, Jonah?
Are we cool with the White Terror now?
For once, I didn't do it.
The noble
I feel like I
forge.
should be concerned.
Well, in any case, fortifications also the Legion specialty, so if you need help there, I'll put my hat in, I suppose.
I would like to also offer the Steel Saints.
Oh, Mars is gonna be on this island? What a shock.
I'm literally right here, I've been here. Are you okay?
I thought it was funny.
The Vizier will look towards Aslan.
I believe... I like the idea of the watch wall. This camp has always been a bit sparse when it comes to, not having walls.
That's true.
Not that I believe walls will do anything. It will at least afford us with a choke point should the enemy be too lazy to knock them down. So, I mean, Commander of the Watch Wall, how long do you think it would take for you to erect something suitable in that regard?
Hey, Arcade, how long do you think that would take?
A few days to build palisades.
They definitely have the collector's back.
You should be finished just in time.
Hey, isn't there like a dwarf around here that could help you?
There's a couple. There's the fellow I offered there's the fellow from Azengult, and then there's Mr. Iron Bellows.
All of them are over here.
The Mages Guild also has the means of transmutation magic in order to erect things rather quickly.
But you're already settled somewhere else.
Yeah.
I will admit my own bias when it comes to the Weave and its many applications. My first thought was the Mages Guild, but it was very quickly met with the realization that we had indeed already marshaled your forces elsewhere.
It is unfortunate since we druids also have the ability to teleport through trees and other large plants at an instant without any limitations, unless the enemy is able to limit that ability.
I suppose, I'm not sure who said it first, but the Freeman and the Watch Wall would be the best here. We have quite a collection of, I suppose, Azalon will pause and kind of rub his chin, thinking of a way to phrase it, and he will say, those who are skilled in the art of killing. So what we require now is some structure to what we already have.
May I make a suggestion, Lord Azalon?
Certainly.
The Coven are not just spies of Dalton, but they are protectors of the mind. The enemy is known to strike at more than just the body. Their strength, their protection, might be needed. If the White Terror guards the sea, I don't think the Freemen will provide much greater protection.
I can do that.
It's a valid point. What sort of... Do you feel that you have rituals that could protect everyone within camp? Perhaps you could surround us with wards of some sort of your own creation that would give us a fighting chance, so to speak, to resist whatever corrupting influence being that close to the enemy would bring upon us.
Oh, I think I could call in a favor or two.
As Aslan's face will darken somewhat as he explains. I have gazed upon the enemy myself, and be it by luck or a collective age and experience, I feel as though I only barely made it out with my sanity.
Hey, you and Big Guy, you remember our agenda? You remember our agenda, the big important one?
Oh, you mean the thing that was needed a meeting with?
Yeah, let's call that card in now.
What card? I will ask you, you are all honored guests and esteemed guests. However, time is of the essence, and I no longer have time to play cryptic games.
Well,
what are you talking about?
That was out of character. That was out of
asking.
character.
Oh!
That's something I could do.
Sorry.
That is a question for Arcadum.
What are you trying to do?
I can't really.
So we had there was the Hail Baba Yaga agenda.
Yeah.
That was completed, and you just kind of said you needed our say so when you wanted it launched.
Yeah.
They want to use the Witch Queen to help protect Camp Last Stand.
You got
with the
it.
Great Coven.
All right.
That's
Am
we're
I
bringing the.
All right, am I locking in Great Coven with Watch Wall for Defend Camp Last Stand?
Yeah.
All right, you got it.
All right. I'll say in response, have you ever heard of a place called Baba Yaga?
I myself was a ward of Witchtown and the unwilling thrall to those who dwell within, the witches and the hags, as you say. I've read about Baba Yaga.
Oh, well, they're gonna come to help us.
The denizens of Baba Yaga are coming to help us.
Yes, sir.
The vampires.
Well, maybe.
Are you certain? Do we have a plan to extricate them from our home planet once the deed is done? Is this a two-way trip for them, hopefully?
I might be able to explain it a bit better in a different way.
Certainly.
I'm gonna turn into this honker.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right.
Oh God.
A spectral image of a large predatory dinosaur will appear in the center of the tent, kind of filling the entirety of it.
Oh.
Oh, I know that guy.
What the hell?
Oh, huh. Okay.
That seems quite normal.
In addition to what you see here, you can see that the spectral beast has its edges frayed, seeping away, almost like it is draining. You can also see that there are bits and pieces of the shadow torn by violet light. Go ahead, Sean.
The Witch Queen is an old ally. She knows and has the sight. She will see them before they come, foil their tricks, and their magics will enforce our own. It will admirably defend this place. Also, try being less of a bitch.
Hold on. Hold on. We have guarantees that the Witch Queen will assist us.
She's an old friend and is very intimately aware of the danger and motivated to end it.
And what did we have to give her in response?
Long story short, a bunch of eyes. Like literally eyes.
I suppose.
And does she plan on returning home?
Let's save that question for when there's a home to return to.
I suppose we can. I suppose it's good that all of us are here then, and we can prepare for having to expel another foreign interloper from our world.
This feels incredibly awkward.
I trust you, giant spectral T-Rex. Does it seem like the T-Rex came from Jonah?
Yes, that is a refraction of his soul.
Okay, yeah. And I trust your host most of all.
Well, that's a first. Alright, I'll de-Hulk. Oh god. Forgot what it was like to be that big.
What the fuck?
You're a dinosaur?
I think your other self has issues with me. You should work on that.
Do it again.
Work on not being as much of a bitch. Jeez.
I guess I'm married to a dinosaur too. Ellen.
Who is that?
Hey, oh, sorry.
Former archdruid. He's proud of you, by the way.
What?
Look, I admit that I might have made a mistake. I had 3 choices and 2 things that I could do. I probably shouldn't have told Amaris to not be a bitch.
I feel like I
No,
just
it was the right
watched
decision.
something that I shouldn't have seen, and I'm just going to ignore it.
Hey, Jeremy?
Yes.
Is it possible that we use some of the stones?
That's already calculated in the end game.
Okay.
Yeah. However, that is a good segue to your asking a question. So, as you have designated the special missions and also the defense of Camp Last Stand, as the deliberations around the council table continue, scroll is passed, parchment is debated over, coin changes hands. The sort of cacophony of planning moves along with a reasonably efficient rate. But then, something happens. Freya's eyes begin to glaze over. Her pupils rebound into red stars. She moves with a strange sort of swaying grace. Unnatural. Her demeanor completely different from what she was before. And with that, she produces a single scroll and places it into the center of the room. And Freya returns to what she was before.
What does it say? Or what does it look like?
As Azalon takes the scroll and slowly opens it, what Azalon sees are astral patterns, calculations, everything that the heroes of Calcatesh will require in order to face the enemy. To face the enemy at the only place perhaps it may be weakened. What you see is a star chart. A star chart that depicts the movements of a single vessel and also the movements of the Herald, all perpendicular to a singular point just above Farum. As you look through it with these eyes, another pair of eyes reflect what they see. You can see outside of the window. You can see into the vast astral sea as the vessel careens towards its location. You see them. Your allies. The Centaur. The Aarakocra. The Vampire.
Not anymore.
Well,
Sorry, go on.
The Satyr. God. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's not anymore, but anyway, you see them standing around you, and then Aslan's sights return. It seems that you have been gifted the knowledge and the plan from the Astral Traveler at the right point of attack.
So, out of character, it's indicating to me that we should, it's indicating to me when the vessel's going to arrive, when the Herald's going to arrive, and where in space we should be fighting them.
That is correct. Basically, you now have the in-character knowledge to set up the arena that you will face the Herald in. At the edge of creation, at the Twilight Station.
Oh, we're going to the Twilight Station?
Mm-hmm.
So, another out-of-character thing. I thought the Herald was closer than the Twilight Station. Although I suppose it's a spiral, so...
Well, it's also a moving spiral, so that's why it makes it so difficult to navigate the Astral Sea, because it's not static. It moves. It's like a sea. You know, it's moving.
Yeah.
So it just so happens that during this perpendicular crossing of paths, the Twilight Station will be just in the right position above Verum.
So we're going straight up.
Basically, you're gonna fight in the sky.
Okay. Well, Aslan will put the scroll back down on the table and kind of mull over how to inform everyone about that, because as far as he's aware, this whole prismatic refraction business is kind of tight-lipped sometimes. And also kind of revealing this information, the enemy might find out that we know, I guess. Because I know that I know that it does not know that the Shattered Crowns group has Death Scythe and then the ability to basically make it killable. So, I mean, Azalon, I guess he'll put it down and then kind of drum his fingers on the table and then pick it back up and roll it up, and he will announce, "My friends, have you ever traveled into the Astral Sea?"
Yes, actually.
Wow, really? When?
I went to a bag of holding.
I don't think that counts, but
I mean, it technically counts.
It does.
He started suffocating.
You cannot breathe up there. It is very bad.
The Vizier will frown. Technically counts. It's not really something he's down with.
Seeing.
I'm assuming the Red Star missions technically never ran. That's an official thing.
I don't think I've ever been there, but wait.
Bard College.
Wait, I have a
Library.
question. Did that tower in Astral? Yeah, that actually did count. Never mind.
Yeah.
So I have been there. Yeah, I've been to the Astral Sea, and I actually know of. I do know that other worlds exist. I only know of 2 at this point.
I would be glad to share what information I have with all of you in regards to everything that I have seen and not seen. And indeed, it is somewhat hypocritical of me to say this now, but it would appear that Miss Firemane has presented me with information that I lamentably cannot share with you at present, as it pertains solely to what the enemy may discover as a result of such. However, it is good news, and I have been blessed with information I did not think was going to be a factor, I suppose. I'm doing it now. I'm doing what Aaron was doing. I'm doing what you lot, I am sure, at this point, have done countless times, and that is that you have been unable to explain exactly what it is you wish you could explain to your allies, that screams within your very core, as it does to me now, to tell you what I've just learned, but I cannot, and I am sorry.
So the lady blows up in front of all of us, and we're supposed to just act like we didn't see it?
Are you also going to steal a god's corpse?
This is a matter of prismatic nonsense, and it is good that I have gotten to meet all of you, because we will see all of this done once and for all, and the interlopers from beyond will finally stop having their corrupting influence on every single thing that we do.
I just have a slight question. You're not planning to follow the whole tier thing, right? Because he's a little, loosey-goosey. Yes, I'm aware of all that's happened here.
We're going to undo whatever mistake has happened, and the business with the enemy's aspect and the other aspects that have revealed themselves. We're going to return them to their rightful place, and we're going to never see them again. It is like a curtain has been peeled back, and we are gazing upon things that we were never meant to see.
If you believe that hiding the information you have gained is a stronger boon than it is a detriment to us, then I trust you, as you are literally leading all of Calcatesh right now. I will say, as such, one of the lesser-known things is that the Imperium has recently, discovered a potential astral traveling ship plans that have the potential to be made. The issue is we require 5,000, I don't know how to actually say this, but it'd be diamonds worth 5,000. Outside of that, I do not know of any of these diamonds existing, but I do know of the Freemen having amassed a grand quantity of resources towards building a ship. If we could pool these, maybe it would be the thing we need to get where we need to be.
Said diamonds plural. How much did you need?
5,000 gold.
That's it?
That is what we were told.
Well, even if you got that, you would not be able to construct it in time.
Mm-hmm. That's why I was referencing the Freeman's shenanigans to pooling that as a potential, if that was even possible.
The ship is not needed.
Then I retract my statement.
You still need that rock.
2 of them.
No, not you.
Yes.
Should I present it now to you? I can get it from... I can send a courier quickly. Get it from my bank.
That would be helpful.
Alright, one moment. Zane will step outside and run and get something.
As he does that.
What are you getting?
He's getting
the ebony rock.
Yeah.
like the one we got.
The barbarian thing.
Oh, okay. Not super relevant, but okay.
It seems relevant.
I requested it at a meeting a couple times ago, and or any stones basically.
Anyway, you now have the plans in character in order to properly face the Herald in perhaps a place it might be vulnerable. You have also decided which actions you are going to take to try and slow down the Herald and face it directly, as well as whom shall defend Camp Last Stand. Deliberations are coming somewhat to an end, and as such, do you have any final words, Azalon? Take heart, as they may be the last words spoken within this encampment.
Ladies and gentlemen, I understand that the life that has been thrust upon you now is not necessarily what you had ever planned for. Some of you have been brought into the fold sooner rather than later. Some of you are still ignorant to the larger workings of what appears to be happening to the entirety of our universe. Rest assured, be it through luck, happenstance, or simply cooperation, we have come to a point that I believe has not quite yet been reached before. There are certain, for lack of a better word, I suppose, metaphysical happenings that even I begin to struggle to explain or even understand, that I wish I could provide to you to give you more context as to how important it is that all of you do the tasks that have been assigned to you. I have faith in you, and I believe that you can execute anything that has been assigned to you with the utmost efficiency and haste. Furthermore, as I said earlier, the most important thing is that even in the wake of insurmountable odds, and even in the wake of crushing hopelessness, of losing those you have loved and perhaps not even remembering that they're gone, there will always be each other. You have your feet to stand upon and the shoulders of your allies to lean upon, should you must, to stand strong before the Herald. I have done it, and I had wished that perhaps some of you could have been there with me, or even the allies, the others that lurk about this camp, could have seen what I saw. If only because I know that if we had been able to strike at that moment, that we could have dealt a grievous wound. It is not so impossible, and this is for those of you who do understand our situation. It is not so impossible to think that we require no less than just one another. Perhaps we have tools and devices from that we are attempting to call upon now. Perhaps we have ancient texts to search through to find that which we believe we may need to uncover. Perhaps we feel we need to go to the ends of Verum proper to find what we must to defeat this enemy. But at the end of the day, We require only the tools that we have provided ourselves in our histories that are written on Verum, of those who have lived the lives of the common man, or the common elf, the common dwarf. All of those pieces have come together now to show us that we do not require this brand of interference upon our realm. And I will suffer it no longer.
The Vizier will nod. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Aslan will put a hand on the Vizier's shoulder. We are one. And that is why it pained me to not be able to share that information I have just learned from Lady Firemane with all of you. Because I know that no force such as this one, grand as it may be, unknown as it may be, can stand before a unified front of all those who dwell within Calcatesh, Glaeus, and the other masses. I have had the fortune of, even now, meeting and greeting, perhaps not myself, all those who dwell upon other worlds. I believe the representative from the last grove mentioned knowing of 2 other ones. There are a great many more. And I don't think that there's any one population that could possibly marshal this sort of defense other than ours. And they are those who were so bloated upon the corpse of their own advancements and greed and power that they had lost themselves in the pursuit of undoing this great evil. And I believe that we have found a sort of sweet spot between power, knowledge, and companionship. When you are in doubt, look to each other. That is all I have to say.
The Vizier will nod, having annotated all of it, and will magically paste the words onto different pieces of paper and send them out for all to hear. And then the Vizier will receive a message. He will open it, and he will nod. My lord.
Yes?
Our time runs short. The herald approaches.
Very well, then.
All right.
Guess I ain't got far to go.
And with that, we will pull this particular bonus session to a close, as all of the RP events have been set into place, except for 2. Those of you that are in the Silent Knights, I will be... those of you that are in the Silent Knights, I will be contacting Nox and the Silent Knight girls to see if they can participate in a RP event with you, actually, in the upcoming days leading up towards the battle against the Herald. This is the same is true as for those members of the Tops. So those 2 chapter masters, be on the lookout for that information, as that I'm going to have to coordinate with the stream groups. So staff, please write down that there's going to be an RP event for those particular factions, but I have to coordinate with the players first. Other than all of that, though, that will draw this particular session to a close. Thank you all. Thank you all so much for showing up and giving me a little bit of your time, and now we will see those RP events created so that all might participate in them. And also, thanks again, because that was really, really cool for me.
Nice. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for everything, man. Thanks for inviting me.
And big round of applause to everybody here. Thank you so much. And also, Moon, thanks for taking time out of your stream.
Yeah.
Thanks, Moon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Stop thinking me. Stop thinking me.
Stop it!
No.
Enjoyable.
Stop it.
Stop it!
Okay. Can I just say, first off, that was a really good speech. Secondly, when you put your hand on the Vizier's shoulder, for a split second, I was just like, oh, he's gonna propose. Fuck. It's finally happening.
Hey, Arcade, quick question.
Yeah.
So you said that others can kind of like volunteer to help essentially with those missions. Are they invite only by the 2 factions that are involved essentially?
RP events will handle that.
Okay, figured as much. Just double checking so that we could clarify with our factions if they were interested.
Alrighty then. Well, that'll be it for tonight. Thank you guys so much for showing up. Thanks again, Moon. Thanks everybody. And I will I will see other. There isn't a lot, and I'm very tired, and I have to get a bunch done still. I still have a lot of work to do. So I will see all of you on March 6th at 2 p.m. from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. CST. I have a lot of work to do though, so I have to get back to it. Thanks again.
All
right.
Bye bye, everybody.
Peace out.
Bye. Good luck.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, man. All right, I could probably do fan art, although I don't think there's a lot. I'm like falling asleep in my chair. I am so tired, chat room. I did so much work today. Calcatech, the Violet Boy. Very nice. How do you do, fellow? How do you do, fellow Archmage? Yep. Okay. Watching stream. Sup? +1 morale! +1 morale! Cool. Bro, the tower? That's so sick. That is really cool. Greetings, fellow Archmage. Last Crove and Hikari. There are demons. Mine! That is my right! We'll kill the demons! Who will protect Cat Stand? Yeah, thank you, Eddie. That guy never takes his helmet off. Wow, more 3DS art. I will tell you. Look at that good boy. Alright, guys. I'm going to go to sleep. Thank you guys so much for everything. You guys are the best. It means the world to me. I'll see you guys next time. I'm going to raid Moon, because you know what? Moon's awesome. I like him. I think he has a very, very nice, full set of hair. Like a full, flowing head of hair. He's very handsome. Get in there, guys.